Let's go.
Strength out of struggle. Streets knee deep in the hustle. World enslaved, stop the killing. Fighting for peace, but we starving. No more hate, back to loving. What we think is becoming. What we reap will be sown.
Clint Brink is one of South Africa's most versatile and talented artists. He has played lead roles in South Africa's most favorite soap operas, including Backstage, Generations, Scandal, and Binnelanders. He played supporting roles in a series such as Rockville, Roer Jou Voete, MTV Suga Down South, Blood and Water, and a lead role in Netflix's Kings of Joburg. His achievements also include playing the lead role in the film Dollars and White Pipes and a supporting role in Ellen Pakkies Storie. He was the winner of Star Block Workout Season 1 and an acting coach on Big Brother Africa Season 9. Clint's skills also saw him perform on stage and dancing in the Death Drill in a lead role as Pitso Motaung. He has a long list of career accolades, including multiple SAFTA Award nominations for Best Actor in a Feature Film and Best Actor and Supporting Actor in a Soap Opera from 2006 to 2023. He won Best Actor in a Soap for his role in Binnelanders in 2021. Clint was nominated in 2012 and 2013 as South Africa's favorite actor in the You Magazine Awards. Nominated as an actor in the year of 2017 HUISGENOOT Tempo Awards, nominated as Best Actor in a Soap Opera in 2023's Silverskerm Fees Awards, and nominated as Male Star TV Star of the Year in 2025 Africa Choice Awards. He won the award for Best Actor in a Series in 2025's National Film and Television Awards for his role in Kings of Jozi. His talents are not limited to acting. He also features in numerous musical features with some of South Africa's top talent. He has released his own original music and has appeared on multiple television shows. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Strength Out of Struggle, Clint Brink. Listen here, I want to just shout out my sponsors, Magos Media, for giving me this awesome facility. I've asked them if they can make this available to more people out there that want to make their dreams come true. Email info@Magos Media, quote the magic name Kaz7, get a nice discount and get your dreams on their way to coming true. Welcome to the show. Just like that, bro. Welcome to my studio.
Hey, thank you, Vato. Thank you, SA.
Listen, I've been checking your work. I love what you're doing, man.
What you been seeing, Orale?
I've been seeing everything. I've been seeing you the king of Joburg or what? Yo, welcome to it, bro. It's like we've been trying to get this interview done, but how's the timing now?
Perfect.
The timing is perfect because now we're celebrating the big win. And I told you, from salute, I was like, what salute? What salute, bro? What?
Yes,
Dude,
you did.
it's really a privilege because, like I told you on the phone, I may be one of the last people to get you on tape before the international directors pull you away. Be like, yes, I'm in for one day. Oh shit, I'm not coming back. You know, it's well earned, and I think it's time. I'm not just saying that for hype, but we as craftsmen, I studied the Stanislavski method. I know what goes into it.
Yes.
It's a certain, and even back to White Pipes, that movie. There's something there, and you were talking about this in a reel that I saw you and your wife talking about us artists tuning into our pain, because acting is spiritual, bro.
100%.
When you pull that pain and you utilize it in the right way, it's a way of healing and playing these different characters.
That's transcendency right there.
Yeah, it's like, it's amazing. But anyway, we're going to talk about more of that. Let's go back to the little Clint. The show's Strength Out of Struggle, Fit Life. I want to talk about your younger days. Was there movement involved? What was your nutrition like? Or did you just play hard and the calories couldn't sit?
It's so weird because if I'm 100% honest with you, I don't know if it's just like old age or getting older or actually the impact of life, because life can, really hit you hard.
Yeah.
And now when you're older, you see it as a rite of passage. You actually feel proud about the fact that you were able to withstand things sent to destroy you, or felt like, at that specific point in time, there's a a dying of self that needs to happen, and then the fight to stay alive simultaneously. Um, but I think ek praat 'n bietjie te ver vooruit. So apparently,
Yeah.
according to my parents,
Yes.
my mom more specifically, they said all of the teachers at the primary school said, "Look at this boy. This boy should be a rugby player. Look at Look at the build on this boy."
Yeah.
And apparently,
Athlete.
I was just like not into it. I was reading. I was spending my time in the library.
Looking like a rugby player, but more of an
Yeah, but more, and I think um, maybe it's just because I always had this real sensitivity toward places and people, something that I wanted to deny for a very long time, because it's scary when you can read people or
And
feel them,
welcome to my world.
and not know where to put it. So when you
And no one's told you that there's frequencies.
yes,
There's frequencies beyond this. No one's told you that you can feel more than just your emotions,
yes,
but others and even the world's.
do you know what I mean?
And while you're like that, you're like, am I going nuts? Carry on.
But feeling like you're plugged in like that,
Literally.
So I guess the library was a solace for me, and now that I have a daughter, I understand myself also a lot more now, because I was just someone that did things at my pace. Actually, from a very young age, I was just very much about, I understand you all want me to do it this way, but I have to do it this way,
Yes.
But I wasn't very vocal about it.
Yeah. You just, that's what I'm doing.
That's what I'm doing, and I think that could have been unsettling for people
How
that
many
needed.
kids in the family?
It's just myself and my sister.
Okay, sorry. I was going to say your middle child, like,
Yes.
you sound like one.
Yeah. But hey, to answer your question, I tried sports
Yeah.
at school, also because I was at least 2 years younger than everyone in my class, because I went to school earlier. So I didn't like the fact that I had to compete against people that I can see physically are just like
Older than you,
older, bigger, stronger than me. I can't do much. So from a young age, I already started looking for, and maybe this is, epigenetics. Maybe I got this from the combination of my parents and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had real gifts, like spiritual gifts, like saying stuff and manifesting it in real time. Like I saw that through him, Um, so I think I just wanted to find my own lane, but I always swam, played sports, loved playing sports, wasn't really dominant in it primary school.
You prefer to play and not to compete.
I think I struggled with that in the beginning when I was younger, because I was uncomfortable. When you have a heart for everyone, but you don't necessarily understand what healthy aggression or competitive aggression needs to look like. You don't. That's not developed yet.
Bro, in the places that we grew up with, it can be hardcore.
Yeah.
It can be hardcore.
Yes.
Like I remember the one thing that made me understand things was one of my teachers says, when in creative mode, you're closer to God. Competitive mode is when you're lost in the world and stuff. And that helped me because I was like, I don't want to compete.
Mm.
I just want to be me.
Mm.
Why can't we all just shine together? Why does it got to be me against you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That pressure.
Yes.
But carry on.
Yes. But also, I think, we were able to look at that and use it as fuel, because it's also a great motivator to a degree, I'm happy that I had an opportunity to be competitive as a creative.
Yeah.
We still come from an era where all of the singers and stuff, I battle you, my bro. You part of that group, or you Owens, you're singing that song. Let's go to the bathroom and we have a quick battle, and then we're gonna find out who's the best.
We used to battle.
You,
And be
I
hot,
heard, bro.
You say we used to battle.
But it's thicker, bro. You don't find that happen because people are so sensitive, and everyone, and I get it, cool.
Yeah.
But to come back to what you said, I developed a lot later because I started seeing the other benefits that sport gave me.
Yeah.
It posed a big challenge, and the challenge was self-mastery. And if you just take a look and think about your body and what it is that you are able to do, there's a limitlessness to it. and there's a lot of work that goes along with that, and sacrifice and vision and application that can scare us, but the benefits is the fountain of youth, but you pay a price for it, so I think when I was younger, that started intriguing me, and then obviously following people like Bruce Lee, and then you start seeing there's a philosophy that's attached to the physicality, which means also then there's a transcendency, there's a spirituality about, and being a creative and being an artist. I then did my own research. You follow Bruce Lee's path, and then you find out there's Krishnamurti, and then there's all of those philosophers, and
Babaji,
you know what I
like
mean,
many wise brothers and sisters.
right?
Like I say that because we all think to be separate, but we are all one. Just language and understanding separates us, but there is but one true love and creator. When you've grown up enough, you shall see this,
Yes.
you know.
So it's about also like where you start your journey,
Angles.
yeah, angles where you start your
Focus.
journey from and where it is that you need to go. So then obviously I discovered more about the samurai, and then you discovered that the samurai were, besides being these heavy disciplinarians and these craftsmen, and also having a mindset of duty and honor, being soldiers,
Code of the samurai, all that stuff.
you know, but they were also calligraphers and singers and
Peasants.
artists. Yeah,
Poets.
and poets, exactly.
Everything.
So there was this, I found it such an amazing, just a beautiful picture to see that there is this discipline and almost like steel sharpness and focus and all of these, coupled with the softness, flowing
The
energy,
beautiful contradiction.
like a beautiful contradiction. And it also just then further inspired me to walk the path that I was on, and then I could start seeing, but wait, I have an idea of what it is I think, or who it is I think I should be, but my life is showing me that I am still unfolding in these moments,
Yeah.
still till today. And I think this is one of the things that I loved about Krishnamurti when he spoke about being an observer of yourself, being an observer in your life, observe everything around you before having an opinion.
In the witness.
Bearing witness to what is happening. And I think that it brings a stillness and a calm and an understanding that the work is always more on the inside than anything else. That's where you find it.
Yes, the kingdom is within.
Yes, the kingdom is within.
When did you first know that you wanted to be in this line of work, a profession? Was it earlier on, or did you just stumble upon it?
So apparently I stepped on
Because you could
Mom-
sing, you got that talent as well.
I didn't feel like I was a natural singer. Oh, maybe this is what
Bro, in our community, you could be singing like awesome, but there's so many awesome singers that you're like,
Listen.
no, I just can carry a note.
Bruh,
There's
there's
levels.
listen, levels, guy.
Oh,
I mean, if we
Let's
just
keep
want to
it
talk
real.
about Ricardo, let's just start there.
Talk about Ronnie Joyce, who I was in
Did
the
we,
band with.
listen, phenomenal talent.
And Ronnie was in my band and my vocal coach. I remember when I was young, watching him and Jonathan performing It Takes Two, Baby. I remember my brother were fighting over who wears the clogs. So we each had one shoe, and we did a routine together with one shoe. So when I met Ronnie, I thought I was going to work with him. I was like, Ronnie Joyce, he's probably looking at me like, what's this light?
Yeah, what's his light
I
on?
know that this guy was going to be my mentor, go through ups and downs together. I know he's still shining on me. Like I just finished the song that I wrote with him.
Yeah.
The singer from Zambia, Warren Mills, to do it. And I remember him and I working on that track. And there's many other ideas. I want to pull you on one of those tracks as well.
My bro.
So yeah, I mean, carry on. I mean, just
Yes.
it's legends out there.
Listen, the guys that I went to school with when we were in an a cappella band together,
Yeah.
a cappella group together, right? Like, it's like unconscious, it's just like natural to sing Stevie Wonder songs or sing Boys to Men songs and hit all of the notes and all of the runs and with the ranges with comfortability, because it's just normal. It's what we grew up on, it's our staple. This is what we do. This is what we've been doing. Phenomenal. That's why I was like, let me just keep on working. And that became the definition of who I became, that guy that just said, I'll just keep on working.
Just keep on working.
I'll just
You
keep
said
working.
your mom said you hopped on the stage or something.
Yeah, my mom said I hopped on the stage in Sub B, bro. And they had this where they get all of these kids on stage, someone is singing or whatever. And apparently, I was there in my underwear, oiled up, bodybuilding routine, bro. So when I ended up on stage doing my first bodybuilding competition, my mom was like, "Yeah, you've been doing this since you were like 3 years old, 4 years old." So that's so crazy. And then for a long time, not really competing. I mean, at school, I swam, and I was good to up until a certain point until all of the boys just started like growing
Yeah.
super tall,
Yes.
and I just couldn't like match. I just couldn't match the strides and anything.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, or the guys just got really super big and fast in rugby, and it took me like another year, 2 years to catch up and develop. Um, but yeah, I've always been someone that um, understood the challenge of what it is to find solitude in walking a path alone, and learning how to become comfortable with that and turn it into something that actually moves you forward to become self-sustainable. And it's still something that I'm going through. I don't necessarily think on all levels we should be self-sustainable. I don't think it's part of our design.
But
This is what makes us special, this connection.
Yeah. But you
Mm.
can't just also just. Here's the thing I keep on saying. Like Tom Cruise did in that movie with the nasal wigger, "You complete me." And back in the day, we used to think that's true. But when you really grow up and realize it, no one completes you except your creator.
That's
You want someone to walk beside you. And I've had my ups and downs with relationships now, and I'm like, I'd rather be alone. I've got my kids and stuff, but I'd rather go home alone than just jump into anything because no, I've faced my demons. I'm cool with myself. You know how it is to be cool with yourself, you know? And I don't want to put my junk onto anyone else. I don't want to repeat any more cycles. It ends here like in Amistad, the guy says, "Give us free."
yes,
Right now, I stand for everyone that came before me. So it's more like, I mean, and that's more than just me and a female, but friendships. We should be walking beside each other,
yes.
enhancing each other, shedding light on each other, and uplifting.
I mean, if we want to be deep about it, is to have someone also bear witness to your existence and have that echo back when you have that conversation or that connection. I think it's like that, and which is the exact same thing about that God has with us. It's that bearing witness of this moment right here, right now. Um, so yeah, man. I wanted to be a sportsman really badly because I admired
Yeah.
just the natural gifts that I saw. And plus, man, I'm from Paul. Peruchi, there's rugby players, cricket players, soccer players, karate guys, there's opera singers, there's conductors, there
Which
is
line do you choose? What are you hoping to end up doing?
what I'm doing right now. I was very deliberate and very
So
intentional
at what
about my
age?
life.
What age did it become clear to you?
I think I was about 4, 5, 6. I did what I find my daughter's doing right now as well. I used to watch things. I used to kill shit, right? So I would watch or listen to a song and listen to it over and over and memorize every part of it. And I would do the same thing with movies as a kid, cartoons or whatever, something that I
So
liked. Put it on repeat. My parents would just like drive them nuts.
yeah,
Um, but then I would memorize everything
yeah,
subconsciously and obviously consciously.
yeah.
So I think I was watching TV one day and I just told my dad and I pointed at the TV. Now, I could have been a lot older. I think maybe I was around about 8 or 9 because I went for an audition for KTV one year. And this is after I've been doing fits in various different categories for years now. I've been doing really well. But there was something that was so nerve wracking for me about the live TV element, and being yourself. And uh, when I did that KTV audition, I think they had it at N1 City at one point in time. And then they call you up on stage in front of everyone and they chat to you and you're supposed to interact. And then you go, hey, but this thing is difficult, bro. My nerves are like killing me. I can't speak. I don't feel like I'm comfortable in my body. And I'm a young boy still, I'm like close to 10 years old. But I think after that, I remember I watched TV one day and my dad was standing next to me and I pointed at the screen and I said, I'm going to be doing that. And he said, what? I said, I'm going to be there where those people are. He goes, where's that? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to do that. Um, and that just stuck with me, because I didn't model this on anyone in my house. I didn't model this. Uh, um, it's no one in my family that had it,
Who inspired you? Was there any particular? We talked about Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
My story of Bruce Lee is they didn't show his movies at any of the normal cinemas.
Mm.
So obviously, being half from Cape Town, half from Zuma, grew up there with my mum and him. I discovered Bruce Lee, and me and my cousin would be like, "Hey, there's a place in town, in the hood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like going to Alex, for example. We're gonna see a kung fu movie there." I'm like, "I'm down as long as that guy's there."
Mm.
We go there, bro. It's like a soccer match. When the punches are flying, the whole crowd is like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
oh."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What?" I just fell in love with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
We had that Jeet Kune Do book. Okay, let's go with that movement here.
Yeah, buddy.
Then discovered he was a cha-cha dancer. People don't even know this. I was like,
What? I didn't even know that.
bro. I started going to cha-cha with my mom, even the youngest.
No, he spoke about being a dancer, yes, and being able for footwork.
Bro, it's all connected.
Yes.
Every fighter,
Yes.
him and Muhammad Ali, like those guys,
Yes.
So yeah, it's all connected.
It's all connected,
It's like
bro.
fighting is a dance. When you see the best fighters, they get to a point where they're not even thinking about it. They just are.
Flow. Yeah. They're just being it. 100%. Yes.
Okay, so now, when does that first break come? I mean,
So I would say on a higher level, I mean, I started competing. My mom was my first acting coach, right? So my mom is not a professional acting coach. My mom was a teacher at the primary school which I attended, Paulus Joubert Primair, right? And growing up, that is obviously 1980, still in the tail end of apartheid and lots of things happening, at times rubber bullets flying through your classroom window, tear gas, kids running, teachers running, you can't see smoke, you see your friends being shot down, hosed down, or whatever, the high school kids breaching the fence, running into the primary school. You see the Caspers on the outside, and you see all of this chaos. I remember times where I was still picketing with teachers on the way to Parliament when I was in standard 3 because we didn't have textbooks. You had 6 kids around a textbook. So I still come from that background. And my mom was very serious community leader. My mom, very fire person, stood for justice. All of us needed to be treated equally, So she was a teacher. I think she started work from the age of 16. So she was teaching from 17 years old or 18. Was a political activist. Did a lot of community work because she then, the school that I attended, Paulus Joubert, she would then start like extramural activities to keep the kids at school for longer because the conditions at school would be better than the conditions at home, They'd probably only have their only meal at school, whether it's peanut butter and brood met brood or it's soup and bread or whatever, So she was very much about that, and then obviously was someone that served the church her entire life. So that is already a benchmark type of person that I grew up watching. And my mom, I would see my mom just like work herself to the bone, bro, She would go into school, my dad as well. She would go into school first thing in the morning. After school, if she had meetings, I would sit there. I would be the only kid there because everyone else has gone home. I've got to travel home with my mom because we're not staying in Paarl, we're staying in Wellington. So I'm waiting for my dad to come fetch us, and he's into insurance, and sometimes he has to drive away and service different areas, and I don't see him for a certain amount of time, So, and then get back home late, have to do my homework and do my stuff, and then see my mom marking stacks of books like this till the next morning, and then wake up and then, like that for like years on end. You know what I mean?
and at the same time, she could also be your coach, your acting coach.
She was my acting coach, straight, bro.
Like,
I think because also my mom and them's background, she comes from a place where they were told, you have to focus on academics and do well. But also they were introduced to choral music and instrumentation at a young age. So that could then be extended to me. I had the opportunity to be exposed to different types of things that I knew other kids around me did not experience at that point in time. And she was intentional about it because she saw the lay of the land.
Yeah.
And she was like, you have no choice. You're not going to be good. You're going to be undeniable because that's the only way you're going to get out of this place. That's the only way you're going to become someone one day, because if this is the state of our country and this is the state of the world, you're going to have to learn how to be hard very, very quickly, Resilience, And that was, with all of her love and affection and all of that, that is something that I felt in my upbringing a lot. And I'm thankful for it. So I remember she was prepping me for my first I Stayed Fit in Sub A.
What part were you playing, do you remember?
No, so I was just doing like a prose, I was just doing like a reciting, a recitatie, you know what I mean? And I remember I got frustrated because I'm young, I'm 4 or 5 years old, and I've got to memorize things now, memorize inflections and all of these things. And I got distracted and I got frustrated because I'm not doing it the way that she wants me to do it. And she stopped me right there and she said, listen to me. Sy doen dit ding reg of sy doen dit nie. Don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Don't waste your own time. So you decide now.
Yes.
Do you want to do this thing?
Yeah.
Then you pull yourself together, you take a breath, and you do this thing properly.
Yeah.
Or we call it quits, and you never speak to me about this thing again.
Yes.
I looked at her, got it together.
See, to that tone.
With that tone, bro.
That tone is equivalent to Eddie Murphy's mom throwing the slipper at him.
That's the vibe, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I got the slipper a lot, bro.
Hey, bro, I got
It was staple diet for me, buddy. If I didn't get it in the day, I would go to them and say, "Are we missing something?"
Like a couple of rips down.
Yeah, you're right. You're right with how things are vying today. We good. Can I just
scroll past? Yeah.
But yeah. So my mom was the disciplinarian in that way, and I was just too scared to piss my dad off because he just had this look and he just had this fire about him, and a quiet defiance for life, telling him what he can and cannot be. He was that guy.
Yeah.
And then I only discovered later on in my life what type of person my dad really was, because I didn't understand him for a couple of years, I just felt like, hey, well, why is this guy so cold and just like blunt and...
I don't know what his story is. Like, everyone's got a story.
And I only got pieces of his story shortly before he passed away, and then I realized we're actually very, very similar, And yeah, bro.
So I want to talk more about that, but
yes. Oh, big break. Sorry.
No, but your that speech your mom gave you,
yes,
was taking you into that break, because at that moment you had to decide, am I just playing games here, or do I actually want this? So let's go from that point.
Yeah.
Now you decide, okay, I want to do it. How does that get you into that break?
Now I decide I want to do it, right? And I go onto stage and I deliver my first recital. And I get more than 80%, right? So they do it regionally and then you do it nationally, right? So then the next year I started competing every year, started participating every year.
Okay.
And then it became more than just doing prose. It then became monologues, and then after monologues it would be attached to solo piano recital, choir singing, with the group singing, the ensemble boys singing.
And on that note, I'm working with the legendary Neil Solomon.
Yes.
So I'm at the studio yesterday.
Yes.
I said, bro, I'm interviewing Clint tomorrow. He says, tell him I said hi. He used to come to the old studio.
Is it in Norwood?
Yeah. He said, I don't know if he remembers me from that place, because
bro.
Neil's helping me finishing off the movie music and all that
and
stuff.
Listen, a legend, bro.
Yeah. So he said hi.
Oh
Carry on.
man, yeah,
That's a legend, bro.
legend, bro.
So yeah.
So
playing the
yeah, then I started, building my confidence on that level, and because I think this is where God is just amazing because that was setting the tone for who I am today as well. Because around me I had friends that I looked up to that I thought, yo, this guy stand at 7, he's playing a piano like a guy that's supposed to be playing gigs for people, like a jazz pianist. How can he hear all of these things, My friends. And then friends who were so talented but couldn't fit into the schooling system and then decided to drop out and then became successful musicians and just self-taught and just like go into because they had that. Um, so I think when I saw everyone around me have all of these natural abilities, I started wanting to develop or discover mine more, or let me rather say, feel like I'm holding it like this, and I understand it, and it understands me. But saying all of that, I was still achieving 80%, 85, 90, 95%, to the point where one year one of the judges said, "We would love to give you 100%, but the adjudication process doesn't allow us, so we're going to give you 99 plus percent today, sir." And then I started building up a name for myself. But in my head, I was like, I can still do better,
because I know cats that are that much better.
you know,
Because we're always comparing ourselves to others,
you know,
not seeing.
not really seeing myself a lot. But I also think it was important for me then. I think if I had to come to any sort of immature realization that I have ability, not understanding what the gift really entails, it could have destroyed me like it did so many other people around me when they discovered that they are gifted and then started acting like they are gifted. And then it just consumed them and destroyed them. It didn't open a door for them.
God gives us with that humility and that ability to be like, okay, I'm not the best in the room. You only see it now. How it
Yes.
served you.
No, there's a huge responsibility that comes along with being gifted, and what it means then, if you want to make sure that that thing doesn't destroy you, you're going to have to be okay with the fact that your character is going to be reinforced a lot of times, and that does not come from comfortability. You're going to feel isolated. You're going to feel like a constant crushing or a pressing
Strength
or
out of struggle.
strength out of struggle,
Because
bro.
diamonds are made out of pressure. Any gift is molded in the fire.
Yes, and that's what I had on many levels growing up.
So now you're kicking butt, getting all these high scores.
Yes.
Where does that lead to?
So
Somebody noticed you.
So it leads me to then competing at the Dalroad national competition, right? So then I'm competing against other kids who's gone to NSA, who's been to art schools. I'm just from an ordinary co-ed school who happens to have drama as a subject. It's the only school, colored school in Paul that had drama as a subject. Um, because my mom was like I said, political activist. She was like, "Oh hell no, you're not going to no Model C school. From here, you're gonna show people that there is integrity, there is wisdom, there is an education system that can actually produce good people from here. We're not gonna do it like that. And yeah, man, just like really, like if I have to script my parents, they would be like they heroes, bro. They bigger heroes than me. They way bigger heroes than me, bro. I'm just a guy that my achievements somehow got the blessing to be public to a degree. But what they did was on a level that influenced communities. You know what I mean?
Yes. I can almost feel it because we come from the same type of space. In those spaces, we don't know who we are, what the potential is going to be. We're always looking up to the stars. Like my rooms would be pasted with these pictures, like one day, bro, one day. I almost imagine myself. I go to bed, close my eyes, especially so I could visualize them coming back home on my plane, like wavy.
Yes.
Look, there's so much to talk about. So I'm going to leave the breaks and all amazing times in the career to part 2.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about. Guys, we're going to take a short break. Otherwise, we could talk all day. If you want to get involved in the business, I'm hoping to get him on his own podcast and such. Kaz07 to Magos Media, info at Magos Media. Get a special discount. I've organized it for you guys. Part two, yeah, we are. So yeah, we are trying to get to that big break, but there were so many stories along the way, and I didn't want to skip all that stuff.
Yeah.
If you could look back at mom and dad and the family and where you come from, what quick paragraph could you say to sum that up, that experience growing up, before we move on to the career and everything else?
Yeah.
Shout out the hood, man.
Shout out, bro.
Shout out the familia.
Shout out to the peoples, my mense van die Pere, van die Orleans, van die Wax, van die Wellingtons. Salute. Die mense wie ek in die strate in gespeel het, my broer, cricket with the lights in the street, soccer, all of those things, all of those.
Hood.
You know what I mean? Yeah, when growing up in Wellington, I had that, bro. You know, dirt roads, bruh.
You know, a red top on.
Yeah, you know, when they send you, they can still send you your parents would say, listen, gaat koop gou brood en 'n melk of 'n Coke or whatever, and then you walk to the shop, but everyone in that street knows where you stay, who your parents are, you know, so there's no way that you're gonna get lost on your way to the shop.
No, because everyone knows you. It's like got nicknames in the hood, bro.
Bro, they'll know your dog, they'll know the cats, whose cat that is.
Your dog even goes.
Yeah, salute.
Salute.
Yeah, don't take too long. You know your daddy. Yeah, like that, bro. And yeah. So I had a really rich upbringing. I had a lot of exposure to things that opened my eyes and opened my mind, and gave me the confidence to dream that I will be able to do things outside of the box that we've been placed as a people back then. You know, as a community, there was a ceiling. There's definitely a ceiling. Still, there's a ceiling, bro. You know, the people talk about like there isn't a ceiling, but you know,
just in some of us is that stubbornness is like, I don't know. I just feel it is something more.
Have to grow
You know
to
what
it.
I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. I remember sitting on our roof of the house in Wellington, and the sunsets there in the summer is beautiful, bro. You know, it's like pink purple sky with this orange sun, and you know, it's like a valley, bro. It's beautiful, right? And I remember sitting on the roof of our house, and I always had this feeling. I would look up into the sky, and I would have this feeling that something says, "There's something out there for me that's bigger than this experience that I'm having right now." You know, but back then I thought I was gonna develop like a superpower or something, bro. I was like, I'm gonna fly one day. I'm gonna.
Promise you, I can feel it.
I can feel it, bro. It's gonna come.
I
You
just-
know,
like,
it's me. I'm that guy. I'm gonna be the chosen guy.
Bro, after I watched the Hulk, after I watched the Hulk, I ran outside. I started throwing bricks and plates.
Yeah. If I scream hard enough, it's gonna come out through. Yeah, that lighty. That's why my parents, my dad just look at me like this. He goes like,
Let's talk about Pops.
yes.
He said he was in a strong way, but he also had this
Mm.
spiritual awareness about him. Let's
Yes.
talk about that.
Yes. So my dad is the youngest of 8 kids. Left school at I think standard 7 or 8, right? Decided he's gonna do his own thing.
Yeah.
Became an entrepreneur. Started out as he was working in a dark room, developing photos
Yeah.
for what is this, for like a printing company.
Agfa, I don't know rules.
Yeah, like a printing company, you know. I only discovered this a lot later about him. And then he worked himself up to the point where he owned his own printing company. He was one of the, I think he had like a Lumber City. Remember Lumber City? He had a Lumber City, man, and he was doing really, really well. And like I said, he was the youngest out of all of his siblings. And he was also the one who looked after my grandfather after he had a stroke. My grandfather stayed with us, right? In the house that my dad and them grew up in. So my dad was, to me, a lot of times was like Joseph, you know. He had these gifts where he would say things. He would tell me, he would pull up to, he was working for an insurance company, and then he moved to the following one because he said he needed a new challenge, right? And he pulled up to the outside of the building, and he tells me and he says, "Listen, I want you to know this now. I'm gonna start working here today." Says in 2 months, I want to be the top guy in this place. I was like, but I'm don't understand context. I'm like a schoolboy, man. I don't know what this guy's talking about. He says, yeah, I'll show you.
It brought in manifestation for you.
So I'll show you. 2 months down the line, now I'm driving with him every now and again. He's got to drop off his applications and sign-ups and everything, Comes back to me 2 months. He said, remember I showed you a check of what my commission was, right? I made 100 times more than that in these 2 months. I'm the top guy here in this place. The same thing he did when he wanted to start playing golf, he would play casually and just, having fun with guys. And then you would look at them, analyze them. And then one day he just said, next year I want to play with the pros.
Just because.
Just because, Following year, guy was playing tournaments, showed me one day, he said, look here, my handicap is 2.
Oh,
Now, I didn't know what that meant. I just thought that my dad a lot of times, but there was something when he spoke, there was a surety that was so powerful that I felt it when he said it, that he wasn't lying,
we just believe in it, but only now you look back and go, oh, so that's what he meant. I knew what he meant, but I kind of didn't, but I kind of felt it.
You felt it,
You felt
right?
it, yes.
That's why now in my life also, when Steph and I have conversations, about things, when I feel it, I know it's what it is. I don't question it. In fact, someone someone commented on my win now this past Saturday, right? And someone said, have you now stopped doubting in yourself? And I said, I never doubted myself.
You were just keeping yourself on that level.
I never doubted myself. I doubted if the world had the ability to realize what it is that I walk with. I never doubted myself, And I felt like a lot of times my journey was like that I had to wait for my environment to catch up.
And that's why you and I were able to, from the first time I met you, game recognized game. I mean, obviously I'm an OG in this game.
Yeah.
It was also the same thing. I'm like, no one's going to tell me what I can or cannot do.
Yes.
I'm here to experience this on behalf of my creator. He's given me a task here.
100%.
Don't box me. You don't know what I'm here to do, But when game recognized game, it's like, I see you, and when I tell you stuff, I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I'm saying,
Yes.
this is what's going to happen.
Yes.
And when I say it, I mean it.
Yes.
I'm not even trying to tap you on the back. I'm like,
yeah,
this is going to happen. We might not have a chance in a while because this is what's going to happen. It is happening.
Yes. Yeah, bro. Yeah. No, I had a moment when I was training a client earlier this year, and I had a conversation with him. Told him one day, I said, let's get out of the gym. Let's just take a walk in the area. Let's just walk for about an hour. Just walk, bro. Get some ocular stimulation, get some vitamin D, and also, helps you just like, yes, mull things over.
Roots get your feet to the ground.
Yes. And I told him, I said, while we were walking, I just looked at him, I said, wow, the Lord just told me something that's about to happen to me. And I mentioned it to him, and he looked at me kind of like, are you for real? Yeah, are you okay? And where I'm standing today, all of the things that are happening now is part of that, that vision that was shown to me. Short, vivid, but like a print.
And you live to the feeling.
Like,
a sense
okay.
Of, okay,
I'm ready.
It's always like, get ready.
Yes,
Get ready.
That vibe. So yeah, my dad had that. But then also with my dad's dynamics, I learned another valuable lesson, and that is, if you have that, if you're tuned to that frequency where what you say manifests like that, because the word also says life and death resides in the tongue, right?
About awareness and control and being aware of the power
So when he was in a place where he was frustrated and people did him wrong, and he would,
There's also power in
I
that.
used to tell him, I said, Dad, you have to be very careful with what you tell people. Even when you tell them the truth, you have to now be able to discern that a lot of people are not ready for that, and giving it to them like that can potentially just like break them, you know?
Yeah.
So I learned that also.
Took me a while as well to get to that place where I realize there's a time to speak, time not to speak.
Yes.
Not everyone can handle,
Yes.
can tune into your radio station.
Yeah.
That's why, hence, it's best for me to come out, do my work, and know when it's time to be alone, to clean up and get
Yeah.
ready for the next.
100%. I've learned that maturity is knowing that not everything you think deserves to be said, and not everything you feel is the truth. You know, you and there's another challenge that comes along with knowing that, okay, so I have to be careful with what I say. Now you
Take a second.
now you have to restrain, and you
Take a
have to.
second.
So now there's a different level of discipline, because then you start seeing how much the world actually wants you to be reactive to get that out
Wants
of
you,
you.
bro. And then
Yeah.
you end up defeating, you'll be keeping the right, but then you act in the wrong.
Yes.
That's how I messed up so many situations, because tempo wise and everything else,
100%.
just one thing, and then you lose because you acted wrong, you know. And back in the day, you think I didn't lose because we had to be tough where we came from.
Yes.
Now the goal is to be with as much power to be as calm and
Yes.
gentle.
And integrated.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't have
Regulated,
choice.
integrated,
It's
100%.
like
You don't have to chase it. There's a different, yeah, but it's tough, right? Because now it's that just sitting in it, and yes, it's a different vibe.
now you know God in another level. You know that there is no separation. You are
No,
part of, an extension of.
100%.
And the more aware you become, the more aware, the more you don't know, the more you just hope fast.
Yes,
Breathe.
yeah, and flow, man. Like lately, I've been feeling like a lot of things. My intention for every day is to get to a flow state in my life, where if it does this, I adjust with it. And that's also, then you start realizing what Bruce Lee was trying to say is like, then you become the teacup. If you're in this container, then you become this. You just flow.
To the moon.
Yeah,
Yes,
you flow with it, and then I think you experience God, and you experience what life is about in a different capacity. There's no striving. You're doing your best to make sure that your nervous system, all of that survival mode trauma, you're trying to make sure that you dissipate that, so you can actually feel what this experience is
Just
like.
be like a finger pointing to the moon.
Just be.
So let's talk about
Yeah, brother. So my pops, that was who my dad was. He went into business, was an entrepreneur, did really well.
So you had swag there on the side.
Yeah, no, he had swag. Oh, because
When
also
you're young, there.
no, he was the old bro. I mean, he was a striker at age 16, playing in the Virginia League Cup. Told my mom when they started going out, he was like, "Listen, come to a game with me." She was like, "No, but we have to. Is it our anniversary? Whatever." It was like, "Just come to a game with me. I'll score a goal for you." And then he scored 3 for her. Like he was that old.
My dad is also a pro baller. My dad is like
I'm
a
like, that's swag, bro.
bro. So much respect to the family and everything that you came from. That's
Yeah.
your job for the next step. I met you first time as you were beginning your career, I would say. It was you and Tony, I remember. It
Yeah.
was at Kim's place. And but she still said you gotta meet these guys. I'm like, what's up, guys? I remember you guys looking at me like,
Yeah. Here's a bro seeing in the magazines, bro.
but I always see that. I just see people as who they are. I'm like, I can see that fire. I could see that hungry lioness. I was like, okay, I know it's about a pop.
Yeah.
And then since then, to see everything that's happened, you've been in so many TV. You also on some soapies like I've been on as well, and blah blah blah. Let's talk about the biggest break. I mean, everything is like a child of yours, but what was the part that came to you that you were like, oh my God, I never thought I was going to get it. I knew, but I really.
I would say Backstage, bro. I think that was the first, because it was my first. Yeah, and I remember what I had to do to get that audition. I I just finished film school. Um, I didn't graduate as the top guy in my class, which I really wanted to because I felt like I suffered a lot. My own stupidity, man, my own ego stuff. But I suffered an ankle break in that year, and I just started seeing what my athletic ability could be like. And I was playing basketball. I was a fanatic, bro. I played ball for a very long time. Two guard, bro. I was, you know, and obviously, very competitive people that I played against. But I think I finally started finding my own rhythm and my own gifting around about that age. And then I had a really bad accident, tore my ligaments, had to go for reconstructive surgery. And that happened around about the same time I was at film school. So I left Stellenbosch University. Yeah.
Okay.
So I left Stellenbosch University because I felt like they were blocking me from becoming my best. I didn't agree with their system.
Yeah.
And like I think what my mom used to say, my mom was like, you see, you were the more difficult of the kids. Even though, especially because you weren't very vocal about when you would be upset, but it would look like a bomb just went off in your face.
See it.
You could see it. Like you can't hide it. And the way that you went after things after that happened was a bit scary to watch at times. So as soon as I felt like any form of a rejection of what I felt is progress for me, I would take it very personally, bro. And I would apply myself to make you see that there is no other choice
Yeah.
but forward for me.
And that came across. It does come across in your work. I see that intensity. I mean, when I watched that, I go back. You did that movie a while ago, White Pipes, and I watched that and I was like, damn, this is good. The acting was like, the guys, it was proper.
Yeah, bro. 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I started to really start to fall in love with our own work.
Mm.
That was one of the movies.
And what we look like.
Yeah, but just hearing it authentically coming across, you can still
Yes.
have the accent.
Yes. I mean, we're in Joburg now. We're rolling our R's over here, my bro.
I just didn't want to be typecast.
Yes.
Because typecast. They look at it, okay, you're hardcore, you're a tsotsi, you're a thief, you're a fighter.
And, bruh.
I may be a lover, I may be a poet.
Yes.
I may be the next president of the United Nations.
100%.
You don't know that.
Yes.
What do you think Jesus was? A mixed breed too. Like, Dad, I'm saying,
bro,
anything is possible. Just don't limit me. But then I realized that even those limitations were part of my growth. Those were gifts.
those were
Some
gifts.
of the worst.
Yes. Definitely.
So
Same man.
Backstage was cool. It was also a heavy schedule
Yes.
because it was a daily. You had to learn your sides.
And then I discovered I had another ability.
Yeah.
Which was I never really had to spend a lot of time learning lines like a lot of people, because actually I've been doing it since the age of 4.
So quickly.
So by the time I got into the industry, I had 12 years of momentum of doing this on stages in various capacities,
all those shows your mom was practicing you for.
Yes. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's like when I started hearing when I went into the amateur bodybuilding scene, right? And then I discovered from my friends who were real bodybuilders, because they were like, I look like this because I've been training for 20 plus years.
Yes.
I don't look like this because I've been training for 3 years.
Yeah, and taking 20 plus years of muti.
You know what I mean? Before they even got to the point where they started taking any additives, this was built on discipline, consistency,
Yes.
and a sacrifice that a lot of people weren't willing to pay at
Different life, guy.
Different, you know what I mean? Old school guys that when you see them now, they're they're like 60 years old, but they look like brand new, bro.
Fresh, bro.
Fresh, bro. And strong. And you can see like the way that they go through the movement like a piston, bro. It's just like beautiful. No stress, no nothing.
Like an old Mustang.
Bro.
No.
It's beautiful to see. So, what was I saying?
We're talking about going back in the day, bodybuilding, training, the journey.
You also lost in the woods like me.
I'm sorry you took me on a trip, bro. We're talking about being typecast and
yes. So so the thing with
It was a real about how much work needs to go in to become second nature because you're learning this
yes,
backstage, the scripts.
100%.
Yes.
Then I started realizing, but I don't have this issue, right? Because I've got this thing also now, and whether it's trauma induced or whether it's part of the skill set, I've learned that when the stakes are high and the pressure is high, I've learned how to just dial it down and not panic and just look it down the barrel like this and just accept what's coming. And then you learn that there has to be a confidence about things, you know. And then I started learning, but further discovering myself, like I said, it's an ever evolving and revealing process. I started seeing that whenever I try to talk trash like other people talk trash, they would win and I wouldn't. But all of the moments where I didn't talk trash when they were talking trash, I would always win, even on in a sport level, you know. And then I realized maybe God is showing me that that is not how you do it.
Not your part.
How you do it is you just keep quiet and you just do the work.
In your lane.
Let that work speak for yourself.
Yes.
And then that just became my thing always, you know? And still till this day, I'm too scared to believe any of my own hype. I believe that once you get to that point as an artist and feel like you have arrived, you're in the wrong place. Because in this, it's moment to moment,
But
you know?
may I interject there and say something that I know we would both agree on. What also humbles you is the fact that you know that we can't take it with us. When you are connected to source, we get to some sort of, and you've gained enough ups and downs. Listen, we could both win Oscars tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then what?
When God decides to take you, you're still gone.
Yes.
It's really about who were you? What legacy are you really leaving? That's why you see, I don't care if you're a clean or the prison, I'm going to treat you like the God that's inside of you. Whether you know the divine lives with you or not. Yes, it'd be nice to get that Oscar or not, whatever, but feel like that person who's already got the Oscar
Yes.
because the kingdom is within you.
100%.
So you already are.
Definitely, bro.
And so anything added is just an extra. It's part of the game. But that realization keeps you humble. And I think also that helps that creative flow. Like, okay, so if that is in me, let me just do it and keep on doing it. Don't believe the hype because that's who I am.
Yes. And that's also, you know,
Fine line.
yeah, very, very fine line. You know, I looked at it and I was like, I have to be careful of this thing because I don't think I'll be able to maintain what it would require of me if I started believing the hype. If I needed to be this guy to get ahead or to be seen or to be taken seriously, will I be able to have the sustaining power of being that guy? Does that guy have an evolution story? You know? Am I willing to pay the price for that type of evolution story? I started thinking like that from way back already, you know? As a kid already, I started seeing like, and that's why I say, but when you have that type of awareness, you also have to be thankful to the creator for for just having that opportunity to gain insight. You know?
There's moments when I look back and I was frustrated with things not happening. Why? Now I look back and I go, damn, God.
It didn't.
Even now, no matter what's happening, I feel like the richest man on the planet, the most blessed man on the planet. And I know no matter what comes or goes,
And then you are.
I am.
Then you are, yeah.
Like I am who I am, and that is enough.
That's
Because from
it.
that feeling, everything that's meant to be attracted to this frequency, what God wants me to do, whether it be that Denzel Washington or be Kobe Annan or whatever, I do know that by default it is to be of service first. Hence why this is all about wellness first. That's why now I've had to turn down so many parts. People been, where you been? Why haven't you been on TV? This, I'm like, once you realize your worth and what you make a choice, then you'll decide what you can and can't do.
Yes.
Then once you stand that line and draw the line, it starts
Yes.
manifesting as such.
Yeah.
But you can't sell yourself short
No.
because then who are you?
No. Also, you start realizing the older you get, you're not excused from making choices. Free will is the currency we've been given to barter in this life. Choice is a must.
Bro, but do you have the balls? Do you?
And once you start doing
you
that,
have what it
yes,
takes, Chico? Do you got what it takes to make the
you
right
know,
decision?
papi,
Let me tell you.
do you have what it takes?
You're good, dog. No. Okay. Anyway, back. Sorry.
Yeah.
Actors.
So, bro, yeah, that currency is like, and the more you start
Well,
understanding that, you have to make a decision, and you have to make a choice, then you start seeing that every choice has a price. Everything has a
ripple.
price.
It's like a
Yeah.
pebble in water. There's
So
a
how does it
ripple.
work?
There's a ripple to everything.
Yes. And yeah, man. So I started. I've gone through journeys and cycles in my life where I wanted to be destroyed by life because I didn't feel like
Hello.
the experience I had was great. I was ready to just have the worst experience of myself, and I did for a while,
I relate, bro.
you know.
Beat
And
the Ellen back.
and then being
I had a
able to,
whiskey with the devil.
bro,
And much more.
whiskey was my breakfast for long. You know what I mean? To cope with things and to cope with hurt and to soothe and
The plasters.
yeah, all of those things, and then to be on the other side of that now, where I'm married, I have a daughter, and a totally different experience of myself to what I've known for so long in my life, and I just feel so privileged. Bro, I feel so privileged.
So it's like how amazing simplicity is.
Yes.
Be like, for those that don't know, I'd rather you don't try what you don't need to try.
Yes.
Only some of us make it back.
And then you ask yourself, when I have to crunch the numbers and look back on my life, I'm like,
Only some
bro,
survive.
there are people who are really good people, and I saw them not serve their full term of life here. Good people, bro, right? And then I see some of us who have made the biggest mistakes, where you've actually, on paper, you have every reason to, goodbye, chief, not be here, and then still walk the earth.
Papa Pura
Cane,
said,
cane for kung fu round the globe.
you know? So I call the creator Papa, Mama Papa, and I know there's a second he pulled me back and made me see this is why.
Yeah.
And there's some things that you just can't say. You gotta be. And
Yeah.
this is part of the be. We're gonna take a short break. I don't know if we're even gonna stop this conversation. Please just tell your wife you're not coming home. You're gonna stay at Guest Troop. Guys, we'll be back after this. I'm with one of the most talented artists of this generation. Stay tuned for more. Check out the ad break.
My guy.
Okay, part two. Yo. So we're talking about the highs, the lows.
Yes.
You basically done everything. You're a triple threat. I think a quarter threat, whatever. Because you can sing, you can dance, you can act.
Dance, no, bro. I think that's you.
No.
Listen, I can put one foot in front of the other, but that was
I
never.
can show you a couple of moves. Just thought we'll be.
Nah, I see your Instagram, bro. I see the moves. Yeah, but busting them.
You did.
No, me. I think more for me, singing, instrumentation, acting. Yeah.
But that's amazing, bro. You just won the spot for Kings of Jozi, and I mean, yo, there was a stillness. There were just moments, and as an actor, you know, as when you look at another actor, they just managed to capture that quiet without over. Like when you're just checking outside and like, hey, bro, I was like, bro, I just be on the street with you now. Like, but I come there now. It was that.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys would be like, damn, oh, they won't say that they were inspired, but I was like, yo, it made me want to, I'm not going to lie, it made me want to get back on that screen.
Now, you see, this is another thing that you and I share, bro.
It connects, bro.
You and I are very similar in that regard, bro. I'm a fan of people. I vice men, so I'm like, listen, that was dope. I love
I'm
it.
going to say it because I don't want
Yes.
to go.
Yes.
Like, and I'm going to let you know.
Do you know what I mean? And also I know that, man. Like you said now with the Bruce Lee movies and stuff like that. We used to watch that at school, right? They used to put all of the kids, primary school kids, like on a Friday, first break, 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock, they play a double feature, bro. Bruh, when you walk out of that classroom, the kids are kicking each other's ass. No, everyone's like a kung fu master, you know. So I always carried that magic about cinema with me, you know. And being on set, I'm like, yo, I remember my parents took me to um dude a bioscope bro, in Wellington,
Yeah.
right? And I watched E.T.
Yeah.
on the cinema. It scared me as a kid. I was a lighty still, man. And then, you know, when I started watching stuff like Superman, you know, things that were larger than life and the
Yeah.
possibility of all of these things happening, I carried that magic with me. So when I stepped onto set for my first time, I just wanted to stay close to that feeling always, and somehow wanted to make sure that what it is that I do matched that feeling that I experienced.
And it's always hard to watch yourself because you're always gonna judge yourself.
I did in the beginning,
Like
university I did. I still
example,
do to a degree.
like I just spotted the showreel of me between like 97 2001. My tone was much higher. I could tell there was a certain amount of trying, was all especially
Yes.
groomed. And now because since then I've had kids, I've been through so much more. And I look back and I'm like I respect the light, but I'm like, yo, did you ever think that I never knew you were gonna end up here?
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful for being here.
Yes.
That's why I almost feel like it's a brand new start. And because it's now without the ego, it's all about the fact like I want to do it because I want to be.
Yes. Because I want to be seen. I want to be
It's
noticed.
I'm going to do it because I am.
Yes.
It's a part of who I am, wherever I am.
Bro,
You're either going to capture it on camera or not. It's still happening. It's still happening.
you start realizing that when you start changing the fuel of what it is that you use to motivate you, you know, you can probably go further with less internal erosion.
And this fuel I'm on, that we on,
You know, when you do that gratitude fuel, bro,
that gratitude fuel, first thing in the morning.
you know, and it multiplies everything, bro. It
A slice of
multiplies,
bread is like 10 loaves.
bruh. It multiplies. It just makes everything more. So now when I do it, yeah, and I just tell myself, remember,
Yeah.
you're doing the thing you love. You're doing the thing that you've been gifted for.
I saw this clip when he said, the other day said, aren't you lucky to be tired whilst doing the thing that you always dreamt that you'll be doing?
Yeah.
And I remember I was on my way to come to do the last podcast interview, and I was like, I always wanted to do this. It's my production, it's my content. You're like, and not mine in the way like it would be before. Did you see my show? No,
Yes.
it's the create. Everything I am, everything I own, everything is for.
And plugged into all of it, bro.
Yes, but still, I'm not going because someone told me. Listen, you know you got to be there or else. No, I tell myself, you go be there or else.
This is what I'm creating. Yes.
Aren't we lucky?
I'm creating the life I want to experience. I'm creating it. I'm physically out here creating it and loving it. And then you start understanding that when you love it, you create even a better space for yourself to be in. Yeah. But the world, obviously, you know, the challenge is the same thing with resistance training, right? So there's a reason they call it resistance training. And that's how you grow. Your nervous system starts changing, telling your body, listen, we need to start recruiting different type of recruitments to deal with this problem and over.
No neuron. That's why we
Right.
also like the martial arts.
Yes.
Because that is so humbling as well.
Mind, body, spirit. Mind, body, spirit. And then you try and make sure that everything is in alignment like this for you to have that transcendent experience.
I mean, there's so many roles that you've played, and now you got your own production company as well. You got a beautiful family. First of all, let's talk about the most amazing part about being a dad, because now you know what unconditional love is.
Yeah.
That thing you thought you loved before.
Yeah, no.
Tell the people.
No, it just like opened me up on a totally different level, you know, totally different level. Firstly, everything, and I feel like it's a calling to many. I think it's a calling for all of us, whether your belief or your like I said, you know, your life experience tries to convince you otherwise. I believe it's a calling for all of us because there's a different level of growth that you can only access and experience through being responsible for the life of someone else. There's something that you won't be able to access that part of life by being a solo artist. You just won't be
It
able to.
almost, in a way, connects you to how the creator must feel about us, because you're only as happy as your saddest child, or with that, like, no matter what's happening to you, if that kid's a bit sick or whatever, that's how you feeling.
Yes.
You could have won that award same time, and your baby, you left the, I know for sure,
Yeah.
as your friend, you left the award ceremony, and your concern was like, okay, baby's feeling a bit under.
But I was gonna take her with me to the award ceremony because we didn't have a babysitter, so we didn't know what I was gonna do. For me, it's like that's it, bro. That's first. That's number one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Levels.
It really gave me, and you know, I dreamt about my daughter 3 months before Steph fell pregnant.
Yeah.
So for me, she is. I don't debate about if God exists or not anymore.
See there, like,
A dream, a desire that became a prayer, that became a dream, a real dream, that then manifested and is now a walking, breathing, answered prayer and a dream in my life. There is no way that I can still go back and say, but it's just a kid. So many people has one. No, it's not like that. That's not what I was told. That's not how I was shown what this is about, you know? So yes, definitely.
yeah.
She came, she changed my life, man.
And then also,
And now she looks like me, bro, which means that when I speak to her a certain way, it tells me, are you speaking to yourself the same way?
yes.
Yes.
Now I've learned the wrong way and the right way. It's taking me this long to realize also the moments, and that's why I can only give you this advice. You're going to see sons of the father and mother creep up. Sometimes you'll say things that you didn't mean to say, or act in a way you didn't mean to act, and then you spend it forever trying to apologize and letting them see you from this angle, but they got to take their time. It's like,
Yeah.
God doesn't force us. He doesn't force us to love Him,
Yes.
or to acknowledge Him. Same with kids as they get older. I just have to wait patiently and like, I love you, but when you're ready,
Condition of the heart, bro.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, and they don't know how much.
Yes.
They don't know how much I love them till they're gonna know.
Yeah.
At every second, every night, all I'm thinking of, please keep them safe, because they know I'll be there. Are you okay? Can I pick you up? At least don't tell me where they're going to.
But it's that in the spaces, yeah.
God, bro. And you're also blessed to have such an amazing warrior of a wife.
Yeah.
She's a sister to me. She's there with spirit.
Amazonian,
She can
bro.
sense me. Are you okay?
100%.
I'm like, like,
Definitely.
and so God bless that first and foremost, because that's the foundation that's
Yeah.
going to move forward. Let's talk about the future, your hopes, your dreams, both personally and from a workspace.
Yes. So I would say, personally, things are unfolding the way that they need to be unfolding. You know, I spent a lot of time when I was younger, my 20s and 30s, thinking it's cool to do so many things at the same time and being great at all of it. You know, overachieving, definitely. I am still one of those, I guess, but I'm learning. And I think, once again, this is what being a father has taught me. I don't have to do 20 things great in the day and then fail at it and, you know, maybe get two right. I'd rather than choose one or two and do it great in the day. So it taught me how to simplify things.
Ain't that amazing with age? Yeah.
But then you have to also accept the responsibility that comes along with being intentional.
Yes.
and following through with what you said you were going to follow through on, you know. Be what you said you were going to be. Done.
Yeah. Praise without action is nothing. Like what I said.
Eliminate the self-doubt, eliminate all of that for yourself, and just do what you said you're going to do, you know. Yeah, so
Forward,
going forward, bro, for me, I would say on a personal front, and it's difficult to explain this one unless you've felt a stirring in your own spirit for, you know, I have a lust for life. And I remember there was a time where I used to wake up in the morning and pray that I didn't see another day. When things were really tough for me, you know, I was like, this experience is not the one. I'm done with it. I'm good. I can go. And then to not have those prayers be answered. And now sitting at a place where if I look back at my life, just like you said now, and I crunch the numbers and I look at things, I'm like, God's hand has been on me. I remember when I worked so hard, but nothing was manifesting, nothing was moving me forward. I felt like there were gatekeepers and people blocking me from moving forward, or industry, whatever. It's like there was a fence that was put around me because my ability says I'm way bigger than this environment that I'm stuck in. So why am I stuck here? Who's holding me here? What's happening here? Am I not doing everything that I'm supposed that I should be doing to have me have a different experience to this? And it used to frustrate me. Um, where to now, when I look back at things, I'm like, I'm 45. I looked at myself in the mirror the other day. I'm like, for a 45-year-old who loves his family, who puts his family first, who obviously my health is everything, because for me health and God, same bracket. Spiritual health, emotional, mental, feeling that cleanness, that you know, that purity of your own self in your life. That's a ever evolving thing, but um through my gifting and what I've been given, my biggest desire is to just grow deeper into the heart of God. That's my biggest desire. Not when I was younger, maybe that would look like winning a Grammy or an Oscar or being in that movie. But right now in my life, it's not even that. It's about feeling that presence and being plugged into source, and then understanding that I'm part of this,
Yeah.
all of the
That
creation.
kind of sums it up because I was telling somebody else, Maxwell did that song Lifetime.
Mm.
And why that song is so important to me because when you get to those moments when you've almost died and you've gone to so many things, I'm like, literally, I want to get it right now
Yeah,
because I end this for real. For me, for my kids, for my father who didn't know better, for my mother, all of those that didn't know any better,
yeah,
it ends here. For our culture, it ends here. We will not be typos, we will not be victims, we'll be victors.
that's
Through the most
which was
powerful
my
seed.
dad's second name, Victor. That was his second name.
Do you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
bro?
No,
So
100%, bro.
before we close off, I want to talk about, can you remember the worst thing that you went through and how you got out of it? Because you know,
Yeah. I think there were a couple of
does
worsts.
anything stand out?
Yeah, I would say I was in a car accident, and I lost my then girlfriend in a car accident. Um and the way that it happened was like the cars that basically forced me off the road just kept on driving. They just left us there. No one turned around. There we go. Um no one turned around, till today. I haven't received even an email or a text from anyone who just felt uh the need to say, hey bro, uh after all of these years, are you okay? It I was
Was it
I
a
was
day or
there.
night?
It was uh like dusk time. So when that happened, and she passed away, I was charged with culpable homicide because the state now has to open up an investigation
Yeah.
uh, to find out if there was any negligence, and that takes time. And because there's no one else that they can investigate, I had to fly down. And I just got that's why I left Cape Town, was part of the reason why I left Cape Town, because Backstage just came to a halt. There was a big court case between the producer and the broadcaster. Um, Things were put on pause. I then got an opportunity to. The producer came to me and said, "Listen, come to Generations, man. Come to Joburg. I want you on the show." For me, professionally, it made sense. I'm going from Backstage, the biggest youth show that the country has ever seen. It changed the way that they do everything on TV right now, and then immediately being catapulted onto the biggest show
Yes.
in South Africa, right? And in my life, I was, me personally, with a lot of people knowing I was the duality of my life.
Yeah.
I had this being uplifted to this, but I was dealing with so much in my personal capacity that usually people don't recover from something like that. And even more so if you're in the public eye, something like that will just take you out. And my survival mode was like, I just need to be successful. Full stop. I've got no choice. I have no choice. But when I went through that process, I went to court for 3 years. That case,
While
we're
you were
talking about.
hurting from the loss.
Well, I'm hurting from the loss, bro, and I'm on the biggest show, and I've got no breaks to deal with this
It's not making sense.
because the reality of life is if I don't earn something, I'm not gonna live.
And if you wouldn't get busy, you would have folded. You would have done something stupid. Like,
Do you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people that met me at that point in time met a really broken version of me. You know what I mean? I was dealing with a lot, and came to Joburg. Don't have family here. You know, there's no one that I can rely on. There's no mentor. I don't have my I'm 21. I'm 22 years old.
yeah.
You know, there's who's gonna help me? Who's gonna guide me? And fortunately, man, the Lord's grace is so big on my life that through all of that and everything that I went through, ultimately, I was acquitted from everything. Um, but that was my first. I think a lot of people in life, if you request it for yourself and you really want to become the highest version of yourself, higher version, the next level version of yourself, there has to be a crucifixion of self that happens. There has to be a very big burden that you have to undergo because certain gifts and certain life experiences can only be unlocked with pain and understood. It can only be contextualized and framed in a certain way where your pain makes you understand the beauty of a
The rebirth.
situation.
And
You
the
know?
reason why I always ask this in the show, because the show was birthed out of life and death experiences that I've been through. And not many people, I've talked about the loss of my daughter at birth and the loss of my brother as things blew up and my best friend. But only a few people know that I lost the love of my life, the woman I was going to marry. Before I had children and everything else, I just haven't. I maybe talked to two people about it because I just kept it. It was, and when you said that, I was like, really, do we share that as well? I know she's shining, she's there looking after my baby, whatever, but
Mm.
you can't explain it. And then you got to carry on. And like I said, only now, when I said I feel like the richest person on earth, is like, it's not because of all the celebrations, because of how broken I've been and the appreciation for every breath. So just thank you for sharing this opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on and on, but I know you got stuff to get to. And before we go, what's the definition of a fit life for you?
I feel for me is being able to run on a sustainable fuel source that inspires you to live the type of life that is virtually like a biblical parable, bro, which is really taking spiritual theory and turning it into practice.
Yeah.
And that for me means that you're going to have to go through all of the levels of self-discovery, understanding, acceptance, um, and then responsibility. That for me is the mind, body, and spirit. So uh, I strive for pockets of peace every day, brother.
Yes, every little thing counts.
Every little thing counts, man. Yeah, it's difficult. I don't know what's a foot life for you.
Yeah, I mean, the way I defined it was focused intention today, and that means focused on everything. Like studying the 7 dimensions, it's got everything to do from the mental to the emotional to the occupation to the environmental. The older I've grown, I've realized that we are to be parents not only of our own kids, but of everyone's kids.
Yeah,
To nurture Mother Earth, for it's all our mother.
yeah,
Spend so much time talking about Mars, but what about where we at?
yeah,
There's so much growing up to do. So fitness is really about being fit in every way. And the spiritual is often underlooked. It
yes,
needs the most reps done. The emotional, came to a place where your emotional IQ is
yeah,
there. It's just about really being authentically grateful, humble, and consistent every second.
bro.
Like,
You said it now, man.
do you know what
And
I'm saying?
now that you say it like that, I think for me, it's, I think for me 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 it's, I really knowing and understanding who you are and what you are. And once you understand that, everything else in your life will change. If you think that you are small, you will be small. If you think that you are only 2D,
Yeah.
you will be 2D.
Yeah.
If you think and believe that you are limitless, then you will be limitless, you know?
And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. You know,
Bro, like I said, every interview is about giving people their flowers. I only talk to people that I'm really inspired by. I know amazing things have happened and more is to come. So just want to say thank you for coming. We finally made it, bro.
yeah. Yeah, bro. It was after so long.
We stripped all the layers away. I didn't want to just talk about the fluff.
Yeah.
I wanted to get in.
Yes,
So when
bro.
people watch this, they can feel exactly. And we role modeling a lot of younger cats that are growing up. The suicide rate amongst men is,
Yeah.
there's another way, guys. There's another way.
Yes.
You know. Last thoughts
Last
for people
thoughts.
out there.
Hey, man. One thing I told my wife when we got married, I said, I just have one request.
Yeah.
And it's something that I actually underlooked. I didn't understand what I said at that point in time, but it's become a lot more clear to me, you know. And I think this is where, if we take a look at all of the people that we admire, the greats, they had this thing in common. You know, I just told my wife, I said, don't keep me out of the gym. And I think that speaks to my mindset, it speaks to my heart set, and it speaks to my physicality. Don't keep me out of the gym. I want to stay in the gym for the rest of my life.
That's the point. Yeah.
Don't keep me out of the gym, bro. You know,
Yes. Got to keep on training everything.
got to keep on training, got to keep on getting stronger.
Yeah.
You know, finding out where your weaknesses are, improving on your weaknesses, that perseverance, that consistency, that dedication. And it's also a commitment that you make to yourself, you know. And I believe there's something really special about training, that if you willingly choose a road of sacrifice, it's almost like life goes, you know what, buddy, you're doing what most people don't want to do. So you're gonna experience like a little lighter load than other people.
Oh.
If you just want to have that comfortable, pleasurable experiences, and you don't want to choose some form of sacrifice, it's like life. Then you're saying, you assign one to me, and when it gets assigned to them, it breaks them, bro.
Yeah. Discipline is the best form of self-love.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, brother.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, my G.
Keep growing from strength to strength.
Likewise,
See you
brother.
tomorrow in the gym, possibly. Or, you know,
I'm in, bro.
I'm like, yes, salute. Keep on going. La. Biggest fan. Your big bro loves you.
Much
Keep
love,
on
bro.
representing. Guys, from me, Kaz, strength out of struggle. Keep reaching for the stars. May you be blessed.
Strength out of struggle.